Hey there. One of the issues I'm facing now with helping students organize their thinking for writing is that Mindomo, the app I've used in the past, is no longer available through OSAPAC. Um, I used to have students brainstorm, collect their thinking, and organize into categories, and then Mindomo had this amazing feature that would allow users to turn their thinking into an outline. It made it really easy for students to create an outline and then continue on with their writing. And so I've been thinking about how to try and replicate that or maybe even reimagine it because we don't have a mind mapping tool that has replaced it. So I decided to turn to OneNote because OneNote does have the option of allowing the users to move text around in blocks. So every time you type, it turns into a block. And I'll kind of show you the progression that I'm trying to work with here. On the first day, our focus will be organizing, and I'll provide two simple writing prompts, very much from the OSSLT sort of tradition. And I've created categories for the students, and I've created a number of different pieces of evidence or ideas that may be relevant. And so the step one, the students just simply have to decide where everything goes, right? So a little bit of a categorization, sorting sort of activity, right? And on that first day, they'll essentially do two as kind of an attempt to build those skills a little bit, as they'll look at two different examples and they'll try and organize these, right? And see how once they categorize things, then they're much closer to having an outline that would work, right? The next day, the students will be presented with uh, another question: should we be held responsible for what we post on social media? And they'll have a number of pieces of evidence or ideas, but they won't have the categories. So what they'll have to do on the first one is create two categories that work for all of the text, and then reorganize the text into those categories. So they'll be responsible for naming uh, those categories and then sorting these pieces into those appropriate categories, right? Then that same day, they're going to look at this version, a simple question, but this time they're going to create three categories. And so by the time they're done, they've had some practice sorting all of these ideas, right? And what that's going to lead to is when they actually do their writing piece, which will be a review of a movie, a game, a product, something that they can critique in some way. They'll start by just filling this blank space with all of their ideas, and then the next day, when they've exhausted all of their ideas, they'll go to the categorize page, and they'll copy their brainstorm ideas, and then they'll start creating their categories underneath. And so what's super cool about OneNote is once you've got those categories or those blocks of text organized, so let's imagine we go back here. Let's imagine I select just these. Imagine they were all, let's move this over. Let's imagine that these were all the ones I was going to use, even though they're not really a category. When you paste them into Word, Word doesn't space them out like this. It puts them all line on line. And so what that means is once you've got a category, you could just take your ideas, copy them all, paste them, and then you've got, that map for that paragraph. And then you can do it with the next one and the next one. And that way you've kind of mapped out your thinking in a way that kind of mimics what Mynomo did, and hopefully the fact that all of their thinking will be in one place and they get to practice all in one place will make it much easier for them to organize their thinking effectively. Thanks for watching.